welcome everybody, introduce Liz and her role for this project, and then she's going to introduce Tara. Sound good?
That sounds great. And Tara, I'll take notes for us, so you don't have to worry about that or anything.
Okay, ladies, I'm going to stop our videos, including my own. And Liz, if you want to hit broadcast, I'll hit broadcast. Okay, go ahead. Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Sharon Bonney. I am the CEO for the Coalition on Adult Basic Education, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to today's webinar, What is Digital Literacy, G Suite and Google's Applied Digital Skills. So I want to stop right here and take a moment to introduce you to somebody who is very important to us here at COABE. She's been taking the lead on this Google initiative for us, and her name is Liz Garrity. So Liz, I just want to introduce you to everybody, and then you can introduce our webinar presenters today.
Great. Hi, everyone. My name is Liz Garrity. I'm the executive coordinator here at COABE, and I've had the wonderful pleasure of working with Shala and Tara at Google. And I just want to say welcome to both of them, and they will be taking it from here. Thank you.
Fantastic. Do you want to introduce Tara to us? Do you have her bio ready?
I do not have the whole bio with me now.
Okay.
So Tara's in the Detroit office, and she is actually traveling today, and she's in North Carolina. And Tara, do you want to just tell a little bit about yourself to our attendees?
Hello. It says I can't start my video right now, but hopefully you can hear me. Oh, there we go. Hello, welcome. My name is Tara Riefsek. I am coming to you today from the North Carolina Google office, but usually you can find me in the Detroit Google office. And I am so excited to start our first in a series of webinars with our wonderful partners, COABE, on Google's Applied Digital Skills.
Fantastic. So as we go ahead and get started, I want to say just a few quick things about this initiative. The first is that probably many of you are aware we have Google boot camps taking place all across the country. Hopefully there'll be one in your state very shortly. You can go to Educate and Elevate /Google to look for that schedule and register. Also, we are looking for success stories. So once you have completed the training and you're using the curriculum in your program, we want you to circle back and submit a success story. And we're going to be running a drawing. It will be polling each month, and we will give $1,000 each month. So if you're the winner of that drawing, you want to make sure to keep an eye on your email and also to look at the COABE website. And then finally, I just want to welcome everybody that's here. We have over 500 that have registered for this. And if you're on social media, we want you to get out there and put on there that you're joining us on for this wonderful webinar. So with all that, I'm just going to turn this right over to Tara, and we're available on the back end to provide support. And those that are joining us, just put your name in the Google chat there, in the chat box, and I'll put your questions in the Q&A. Okay, Tara, I'm going to turn this over to you now.
Thank you so much. All right, let's start the presentation here. Okay. Hopefully you all can see my screen now. So today's topic is what is digital literacy, G Suite, and Google's applied digital skills. So as I said, I am a program manager at Google with the Applied Digital Skills program, and this is the first in a series of webinars on the Applied Digital Skills program. And so today is just a very entry-level introduction to help you all learn more about the program and what Google is here to do with our partners in COABE. So while we're going through the presentation, if you would like to follow along in another tab or another browser window, you can go to g.co/applieddigitalskills/COABE, and this will bring you to the Applied Digital Skills website, which is where all of the lessons and curriculum are housed for this program. And so today we'll be going through, again, an introduction to digital literacy, as well as the Google suite of products that we use in our lessons. We'll do an overview of the lessons, and then we'll take you through a live demonstration of some of the features on the website that would be useful to know when you're getting started or just curious to learn more about the program. So if you'd like to follow along, go ahead and log in here. All right, our agenda for today is to start with what is digital literacy and what is the G Suite. And then we will talk about what is the Applied Digital Skills program from Google and understand how the Applied Digital Skills was designed both in format and in flexibility to reach users of all ages. And then finally, we'll talk about why it's important to sign in. Because even though the Applied Digital Skills program is free and you can access the content without signing in, there's some really helpful features that you can only access if you sign in, and we'll show you what those look like. Okay, so what is digital literacy? A very hot topic. Whether you're in adult education or elsewhere, you're going to run into digital literacy a lot nowadays. And so when you hear this buzzword, what does it actually mean? Well, for our purposes today, we are going to use the American Library Association, and they offer this definition. They say digital literacy is the ability to use information and communication technologies to find, evaluate, create, and communicate information requiring both cognitive and technical skills. So there are a lot of words there, but what we essentially think of as digital literacy is the ability to use technology to get things done in today's 21st century society. And so we don't necessarily mean computer literacy. When we talk about digital literacy for our program, we are coming in with the expectation that our users already have some basic computer operating skills. For example, they need to learn how to operate a mouse, navigate an internet browser window, use a keyboard. And so these computer skills are already assumed for learners when we start our program. So our program is building on or scaffolding with basic computer operating skills and then working with users to then learn how to use digital programs or digital applications online to do things, whether it's communicate or organize files or learn spreadsheets that will help them get jobs or get things done in their everyday lives. And so why is this so important? Well, we've all seen that technology lessons can build practical skills that prepare people for the fastest growing job sectors. And so in the Burning Glass report, they say that currently 82% of middle skilled jobs require digital skills. So what do we mean by middle skill jobs? Those are defined as those roles that require more education and training than a high school diploma, but less than a 4-year degree. So this is the fastest growing segment of jobs in the US right now. And we feel that this is important to help users of all ages be able to continue to compete in the job market as we know it today. That is why Google has developed the Applied Digital Skills platform. So our commitment is that as more and more workplaces, and even outside of the workplace, whether it's education, whether it's paying bills, whether it's keeping up on the communication front, really anything that you set out to do requires more digital skills. And because of that, we want to set people up for success, both in their personal lives and their professional lives, right in their own communities. So that brings us to the Google Suite. So the Google Suite, or as we say, G Suite, is the only cloud-native intelligent productivity collaboration office suite. Well, again, that's a lot of buzzwords. So what does that mean? When we say cloud native, we mean that it's all housed online. It's all digital. It's all based on the internet. And so you don't have to store files or information or download programs or use software locally on your own devices. Rather, as long as you have internet access, you can log into these platforms, and it's all hosted online. Now, what we mean by intelligent is they all work together and they all help prompt you with information or options to do what you need to do quickly. And so it assists you in getting things done quickly using machine learning. Don't worry though, it's all very intuitive. And finally, when we talk about collaboration, we mean that different users can work on projects together in these applications at the same time. So if you're working on a project with a group or a team and you're all logged in, let's say, for example, you're using our word processor, which is Google Docs, then you can see what the other people in your file are typing at the same time that they're doing it. So you can see changes real time, they're saved automatically, and so you don't have to work on a version, make your changes, save it, send it to another person you're collaborating with. They have to wait and receive it. All of that is taken care of in real time. And so these are the products or digital applications that are in the Google Office suite. And so you can see here we have Gmail, which is our email server, Hangouts or Hangouts Meet, this is our video conferencing platform. We have Google Calendar, which is a calendar that's very collaborative and lets you share your calendar with other users so that you can coordinate quickly. We have Google Groups, which is our platform that allows you to chat with each other. Google Plus is another platform that allows you to share and chat with each other. However, we're not going to spend a lot of time on Google Plus in these lessons today. Google Drive is essentially a virtual file cabinet. So it allows you to save all of your files and all of your projects across the Google Suite, but you can also use other files and other types of projects, whether it's from Microsoft or other applications. You can keep them all organized and access them from anywhere in Google Drive. As I mentioned, Google Docs is our word processor. Google Sheets is our spreadsheet platform. Google Forms allows you to create surveys or forms that you can collect information from different users. Google Slides is how we make presentations. And finally, Google Sites is our free website platform. So with Google Sites, even if you don't know how to do custom coding, you can use our templates and create your own website. And so we'll go a little bit deeper into some of the more popular products that we find most applicable to our lessons. So first of all, like I said, Gmail is Google's free email product, and it is the most used free email service in the world. And so Gmail allows you to get a free email account, and then you can use that to communicate, stay organized, stay in touch with your friends and family, coworkers, whoever you need to be in touch with. Google Calendar, like I said, is our social calendar. And so what you can do with Google Calendar is share it and collaborate with a lot of different people. It makes it really easy to schedule meetings and to see when other people are available. Because all of these products are in the Google G Suite, you can access them from anywhere. So as long as you are able to log into the internet, you can use these on smartphones, on tablets, on laptops, on desktops. Google Docs, our word processing program, allows you, as you can see on the screen here, to collaborate in a Word document with other users at the same time. So this is really helpful because you can make changes real time, you can make comments or suggestions, and it really helps teams and groups be collaborative. Google Sheets is our spreadsheet platform. And this allows you to learn formulas and to make graphs and charts and keep track of your data to do reports or whatever it is you need to do to organize information. As I said, Google Slides is our presentation application. And so this would be similar to Microsoft PowerPoint. What I love about Slides, I made this presentation in Google Slides, is that it's very easy to use. And again, it's very easy to collaborate with. So if you are working on a project and you want to get different comments or collaboration from your group, you can all be working on the same slide or the same presentation at once. Moving right along to Google Drive, as I said, this is how you can organize your files and see your stuff. And again, you can share files or share folders with your colleagues in Google Drive. And then finally, Google Hangouts is the messaging, voice, and video calling application. So this allows you to work remotely or collaborate with people and communicate from anywhere that you have an internet connection. So our classes use the G Suite tools to help sharpen your skills in these areas. And so as we'll talk in the Applied Digital Skills program, we combine these digital products and applications with practical skills so that you're learning both digital skills and practical or soft skills at the same time. So you can use our lessons to learn data analysis, to learn research and communication, to learn coding and digital literacy, and more. Okay, so I will pause here and see if there's any questions or notifications from me. Okay, I don't see any, so I am going to continue with the presentation. Okay, so what is Applied Digital Skills? It is our free curriculum that's designed to equip learners of all ages and experience with practical skills that help them succeed in the workplace and in life. And I think that I really want to underscore here the practical skills part. There's a lot of digital literacy or digital skill programs that have you learning the applications in a siloed approach or in a vacuum. But what is unique about the applied digital skills program is the applied piece. And so as we go through the overview of the lessons, you'll see that as you're learning the digital skills, you're also learning very practical, useful skills in projects. So our program is free. It's also video-based. And so the lessons are very interactive because the videos make them very engaging. So here's a couple examples. One of the lessons will focus on researching and comparing car loans while learning spreadsheet formulas. Another lesson we have creates a job hunting plan while learning how to prepare for an interview. Another lesson says, let's manage a project while learning data analysis and presentation design. And so what you see here is the marriage of the digital skills and the practical life skills. And this is the common thread throughout all of our lessons. And so our approach was really to make sure that we're preparing learners for the jobs available in their communities. And to do that, we wanted to make sure that the lessons were not only teaching the digital skills, but contextualized with practical life skills. And so you can see that while you're going through the lessons and you're learning these digital applications, you're also learning how to research or create a budget, how to communicate and make group-based decisions, how to create a resume, how to write a professional email. All of these practical skills are available in our digital lessons. So here is an overview of 10 of our lessons. There's actually 50 lessons available on our Applied Digital Skills website. So 18 of them are specifically designed for adult learners. However, there are lessons there that are appropriate for middle school students or high school students. And I think that if you are looking through the lessons, you'll find that it can be somewhat fluid. There might be relevant lessons for your learners or even for you that are labeled as appropriate for high school students, but they still may be useful and helpful for your audience. And so in today's webinar, we're really taking a look at the program as a whole and some of its benefits. But in future webinars, we will look further into the lessons and even some of the learning paths that could be created from these lessons. But we just encourage you to go in and take a look at the curriculum, click through the lessons and see what resonates with you, because there's definitely a lot of content available. But we're not going to spend a lot of time on that today, just because we want to make sure we have time to get through some of the other benefits and features. Okay, so in order to get started with applied digital skills, what do the students or learners need? Well, they need internet access. So since everything is online, being able to access the videos, being able to work on the projects, being able to share their work and save their progress, all of that happens through internet connection. And so that's an important component. And you can download some of the videos in advance and watch them, but in order to update your progress, you'll still need to connect back to the internet. Also, if you're using these lessons in a group setting or a classroom, the internet needs to be fast enough to be able to hold multiple videos streaming at the same time. So keep that in mind. We also talked a little bit earlier, for the purposes of this lesson, you do need basic digital skills. And so what we mean by that is keyboarding, the ability to navigate an internet browser, to know how to use a mouse, this type of very rudimentary computer operational skills. And so there is a guide available in the Help Center or Frequently Asked Questions of our Applied Digital Skills website that has a very detailed list of the skills needed to be able to complete these lessons. And so if you're working with people that are very new to technology, I recommend reviewing the Basic Digital Skills Guide in the Help Center to make sure that the students or learners that you're working with will be able to begin these lessons. We also recommend a laptop or desktop device. You can do these lessons on a tablet or a smartphone. However, to get the full benefit and to really be able to say that you're ready for the types of jobs that these lessons are designed to prepare you for, it's definitely recommended to use a laptop or desktop with a keyboard and preferably a mouse. And the reason why is you may want to have videos open in multiple tabs or windows so that you can be listening and learning while you're working on the project in the digital application itself. So if the lesson's asking you to open a Word document, you might want to do that in one window while you're listening to the video in the other window. And it's just easier to do that on a laptop or a desktop as opposed to a smartphone. You also need a Google account. Google accounts are free, and you can use the same Google account across all of Google's products, including YouTube. So many people will already have this and they can use the same one, but if they don't have one yet, they can sign up at google.com/accounts. And again, that's completely free. We also have designed these lessons for basic English language comprehension. And so the lessons are available in French if you translate at the bottom of the screen. And a couple of our lessons will be translated into Spanish in the future, but they're not available quite yet. And then finally, especially if you're doing these in group setting, then we recommend headphones so that students can listen to the videos and instructions at their own pace. And that brings us to the format of the program. And so here is an example of one of the adult learner lessons. And so you can see for this planning and budget lesson, the estimated time to complete the entire lesson is between 7 and 9 hours. And so this is going to teach practical life skills of research, financial analysis, problem solving, and decision making. It's going to teach the digital application skills of data analysis, conditional formulas, and spreadsheet organization. I would say this is one of our intermediate lessons. And the reason why I wanted to use this as an example is so that I could show you the overview of a lesson page. So on the website, if we click into the plan and budget lesson, you can see that this particular lesson is broken down into several sections, and each section has multiple videos. And so these videos break everything that you need to learn or do for this lesson into very simple, easy to follow steps. And all of these steps have a video associated with it. And so it's something that is easy to implement and can be very flexible, which we'll talk about in a moment. So the video-based lessons, once you click into one of the videos, allow users to move at their own pace. And so one of the things that I find really helpful about the video nature of these lessons is that you can turn on closed captioning. You can use the written transcripts down here at the bottom below the video, or you can adjust the playback speed. And so that makes it really helpful so that people of all different learning abilities can use these videos and understand what they're being taught. As we said, they are also project-based lessons. So within the lesson, students will listen to the video, but then they will also start working on the projects in the digital application. So as you can see in the red box to the right of the video here, it has the step-by-step instructions that they're teaching in the video. And so this says go to drive.google.com, open a new blank spreadsheet, name the spreadsheet product comparisons, and then it gives you the link to go there right from this screen. And so for this particular lesson, they're going to be able to research and learn how to do financial analysis for something that could help them in their real lives. So, oops. Moving on to the design of our applied digital skills curriculum. So we spent a lot of time thinking about how to make sure this program would reach a wide range of users and meet a wide range of needs. So it's a very flexible design, and it can be used for blended learning. It can be used in the classroom. It can be used outside of the classroom by independent learners. We also talked about how it could be appropriate for middle school, high school, or adult learners. And so in order to meet all of these different goals and these different audiences, this program is very flexible. So again, as we mentioned earlier, it's free. It just takes a few minutes to get started. And once you go to the website and begin the lessons, you can see that the lessons are modular. So they could be taught, there's enough curriculum there that could be taught as a full semester at a community college, for example. Or it can be flexible enough that it can be taught just for one specific class or even one specific lesson. So the other benefit is that it can be used in any order. So if you want to start with something that is really appealing to you and you're really excited about it, for example, creating a resume is a very popular lesson, you can start there. And then as you complete the lessons and find other skills that you want to learn, you can move around the curriculum. And so it doesn't need to be linear, it doesn't need to be something that you progress to in a strict manner, but there's enough there that if you want to continue to build on your skills, you can. So learners can complete lessons in groups or on their own, and we'll go ahead and take a look at what that might look like. So in the classroom, instructors can share the video lessons on a screen or a projector so that students can learn as a group. So in this example here, this is one of our instructors at Santa Barbara who uses it in his classroom. This is Dan. And what he does is share the videos in class, and they watch the videos together in class and pause them and talk about the concepts that they're learning. And then the students go to their computers in class and work on the projects together during class time. And so that's one way you could use it in the classroom is as a group. Another way that you can use it, because it's so flexible, is that students can watch videos at their individual computers. And we'll show you in a moment when we go through the sign-in process what that looks like. But instructors can share classes and share codes with their students so that they can all start the lesson at the same time. And then they can monitor the students' progress. But because it is all video-based and online and in the cloud, then the work is saved and students can access it anywhere they can access the internet. And so they can use it outside of the classroom as well. So if they start the lessons in class or start the projects in class and then they don't complete them during class time, then they can work on them from the library or from home. It can be on different devices as long as they sign in with the same account. And so this makes it really easy for students to learn from anywhere. So that makes it flexible enough. You could use it with blended or flipped classrooms. And students can even use these lessons independently. So if for timing purposes or whatever other purposes they choose to do these lessons on their own, or maybe they start on their own or finish on their own, they have the ability to do that because everything they need is on the platform. So that brings us to why signing in is so important. So as I mentioned before, people can use the Applied Digital Skills lessons. They can click through them and just get started watching the videos completely for free without signing in. However, there's some major benefits for signing in with an account. And so as a teacher, if you sign in and create a profile, then you get these additional benefits that are all designed to help you be effective in helping you bring digital skills to your students. And so there are lesson plans available for every lesson. There's additional instructor resources. You're able to create a class that allows you to share lessons. And that way you can see students' projects, you can track their progress, you can see the survey completion rates that go along with the lessons. And if you are a teacher that uses Google Classroom, you can even share the digital skills lessons to that product. So we won't spend a lot of time talking about Google Classroom today. We just wanted you to know that it is available if you're already familiar with it. And then as a student, if you sign in, you're able to join classes, you can save your work, you can see your progress, so you can see where you left off last time you were signed in, and you can share projects either with other students in your class or your instructor. So when you're logged into the site as a teacher, here's an example of a lesson plan that's available on the left-hand side, and we'll do a quick demo here. But one of the features that we wanted to highlight of the lesson plan is this option up here to save copy to Drive. So you can take this lesson plan that we created, you can save a copy to your own Google Drive, and then you can adapt or edit the template of the lesson plan to make it more relative to your class. So if you want to adjust the timing or change any of the things to make it more relevant to your class, then you can do that. And then we also have additional instructor resources. So on our website, on the Applied Digital Skills website, if you go to the help link, it's available either at the very bottom footer on the page, and I'll show you in a minute when we do our demo. It takes you to our frequently asked questions. And there we have instructor resources that include posters, one-pagers that explain more about the program, and flyers to get your students excited, and also has a presentation similar to this that shares information about applied digital skills so that you can tell other people about it or show an introduction to your class. Okay, so at this point, I would like to switch over to the website. And so this is the Applied Digital Skills website. It's just g.co, Applied Digital Skills /COABE, see there. And I am already logged in as a teacher. And so this is the view you see when you log in as a teacher, when you set up your account. And from here, I'd like to show you a demo of what it looks like when you set up a class. So now that I'm signed in as a teacher, I'm going to click on this tab here that says My Classes. And this takes me to the classes page where I can create a class. So what we mean by class in the Applied Digital Skills program is a group of lessons that you share with a group of students so that you can monitor their progress. And so if I go down here to the bottom right-hand corner and hover over this arrow or this plus sign here, it says add a class. And I'm going to call this class COABE webinar. I'm going to say it is for adult learners, and then I'm going to create a class here. And now that I've done that, it shows me this is my class. So you can see the title I just gave it. It's now given me a class code. And this class code is how I will get students to enroll in this class. And so I will give this 6-digit class code to my students and say, log in with your student account to apply digital skills. Once you log in, you will be asked for a class code from your instructor. Enter this code, and then that will enroll you in this class. And that's really helpful because once they're enrolled in my class, then I can choose the lessons that I want them to complete. So to choose a lesson, I just go over here to add lessons. This gives me the entire curriculum. Again, we will do another webinar that takes a deeper dive into all of the lessons available, but for right now, just to add a class, I'm going to look at the adult learner classes. And here's my plan and budget example. I'm just going to click right here on add to class to add it to my class. And now it's giving me the options of the classes that are already set up in my profile. I want to add it to the class I just created. And now I get this message, success. So now it's added to this class. So when I go view my class, I'll see now I've added this lesson. And when the students log in and enter this class code, the lesson will be there ready for them to start. Now, the other thing that's helpful when you're logged in as a teacher and you've created your class is you can see your student progress. So because no students have enrolled in this course, I don't have a view to show you here, but like a cooking show where I've prepared in advance, I have an example class. So if I go over here to my example class where students have already been enrolled, you can see that the class has 2 lessons already shared. And if I click on my student progress tab, I can see the student's progress. So this student has already completed the video 1.1, and this marker here, this place marker, shows me that this is where the learner currently is. So they are working on lesson 1.2. And then here I can see the survey completion. And so none of the students in this class have completed the surveys yet. And so that's just a quick overview of this lesson, but I can use this drop down to take a look at other lessons for this class. So again, this is a quick example of why it's beneficial to sign in as an instructor. We wanted you to know that this functionality is here, but we'll take questions at the end. And then since I just showed you all of this in the live website, we will hop now to the Google Classroom demonstration. And so you might have seen this in the last example, but if I go to add a class, if I in my class and I go to add a lesson, then you can see this share to, and there's a Google Classroom icon here. So by clicking on this would share this lesson to my Google Classroom account. So if I was already using that, then I would be able to seamlessly share lessons in Google Classroom. Similarly, if I click into this lesson to learn more about it, this is the lesson overview page. So this gives me the full list of the videos inside this lesson. It shows me the reflection exercises, which are surveys that the learners complete at the end of their videos and projects to reflect upon what they've learned. You can also see the lesson plan here that we showed in a previous example. And so here's that option to save it into Google Drive, and that way I have a copy that I can customize. But going back to the lesson page, there is an icon here to share to Google Classroom from this page as well. So there's two options, either from the lesson overview page or from the curriculum page that lists all of the lessons. Okay, so the presentation here. When a student logs in with a student profile, the benefit for them is that they can see the progress they've already made. So this student has already completed the first video, they've already completed the second video, they've clicked on the file attachment to begin the project as part of this lesson, and now they're ready to start the next video. So you can see they've completed these lessons, and that progress is saved because they're signed in into their student profile. Students can also share from the lesson. And so by creating the document required for the project for this lesson, and then copying and pasting the link for the document here, and clicking this button to share your work, now the instructor that has the student enrolled in their class will be able to see the project and monitor their progress here. And so sharing the work is really easy in this window when students are signed in. And finally, we want to make sure that you know that we're here to support you. And so you can click on the help link at the very bottom of the page. This is the footer that's on every page on the website. So by clicking on help, you'll go to our frequently asked questions, and you are also able to contact our team through the Help Center by reaching out to us at applieddigitalskills@google.com. So we want to thank you for your interest in applied digital skills. I am going to remind you all that you can get started at any time by going to g.co/applieddigitalskills/COABE to sign in. And I think we have some time for questions now.
Great, thank you, Tara. That was fantastic. So, hi everyone, I'm Shala, I'm one of Tara's colleagues, and I am going to help just sort of ask some of the questions. So there were tons of questions that came in, which is amazing. So I think we answered some of them already in the messages, but please do add more to the Q&A if you have any, and we have 10 minutes, so we'll try to do as many as we can. So I'm going to try to group some of the questions together. So there were a few questions around accessing the FAQs in the Basic Digital Skills Guide. So we did share the links to that in the chat windows, but we will also share those out via email and on the COABE website. directly for anyone who's interested, including Tara's presentation. So everybody could go ahead and take a look at that whenever you want to. So I'm just going to go ahead and read some of the other questions. So there was a question that came in that says, I'm trying to implement G Suite into our daily work as a team. Others are hesitant as they have heard it is not secure. We will have personal data of our students on the drive in a database. I'm curious to understand what Google says about their security. And there were a few other questions like that as well. So Tara, I'll to you to answer.
Thank you so much, Shala. So this is my first time working with Zoom. I'm a Google Hangout fan, so I couldn't see the questions while I was presenting, but I'm so glad that you all are interested and engaged. So what a great question talking about the G Suite security. So security and privacy is the hottest topic when it comes to Google and all of our products, especially the G Suite right now. We wouldn't be able to exist as a company or a business if we didn't have our user security as the top priority, because without that, we wouldn't be able to do anything else. So there are a lot, I'm telling you, extensive measures in place to make sure that personal information is protected. It's only saved for a limited amount of time, and then we make sure that it's not saved any longer, so that's one way we can protect you. But even for the people working on this product, we can't see user information. We can't access that from our end. And so everything is as secure as it can be in this industry. And we can follow up with more resources and white papers on all of the tests and all of the measures that the Google Suite engineers have gone through to make sure that every user's data is completely protected.
Wonderful, thank you. And maybe the only thing I will add there is that we have lessons that are specifically for adult education, but we also have lessons that are designed for the K-12 space. And so everything is both GDPR and compliant. So just to make sure that, we share that information as well. And if you're ever interested, if you go to the bottom of the main website, you will see our terms and conditions with a lot more information about privacy and security that I'm less familiar with as a non-lawyer and non-expert, but hopefully some of you are more familiar with. Another question came in regarding Tom wants to know where to start with the lessons if they only know about Gmail. Do you have any recommendations on some really entry-level lessons to start out with?
Yeah, one of the lessons that I really like and something that we can share with you is we've categorized our lessons as basic, intermediate, and advanced for adult learners, and so we can share that resource with you. But one of the lessons that I like as an introduction is the digital skills for everyday tasks. And so it goes into the very beginnings of what you would need to know for email and for word processing. And I think that that's a really good one to start with. And it's something that people benefit from right away because they can start using those skills in their everyday lives.
Wonderful. And then there were a couple of questions. So I see this is not available offline, which makes sense. For people working in jails or prisons, would we be able to put it on a closed network? And do you have any recommendations on how to do that?
So that is a question that we have received a lot, and it's something that we're thinking about a lot. At this time, we don't have a great answer, to be completely transparent with you, because it is designed to be used on the internet. As far as working on it with closed network or other workarounds, it's definitely something that we're looking into. And we're actually learning a lot from our partners in COABE and other adult instructors on how we might be able to do that. So we hope to have an update for you all on that soon. But at this moment, it's really, unfortunately, something that we know is an issue, and we don't have a great answer other than the videos can be downloaded and shared, but we know that that's not ideal.
Wonderful. And then we have another question about how the curriculum might integrate into different LMS systems like Canvas or Schoology. Do you have any recommendations there?
Yes. So again, this is something that we've learned and has come up very top of mind for educators. So on our website, if you go to the Teachers tab, there's a section towards the middle of the page that has Teacher Spotlights. And if you click on the spotlight for Dan from Santa Barbara, he's actually provided us with a guide for how he was able to use the applied digital skills lessons with his learning management system, which is Canvas. And so what he actually ended up doing is creating documents, downloading the steps in documents, and then uploading them as assignments in Canvas. And that way he could keep track of his students' progress that way. And so it's a little bit of a manual integration at this point, but we know that that is definitely a need, and that's, again, something that we're learning a lot about and hope to have some more seamless integrations in the future. So great question.
Wonderful. We have another question. Does a student have to be signed in order to monitor their progress? Can instructors check at another time outside of class?
So not at this time. So the way that you're able to see the student's progress is when they're signed in. And so if they're not signed in, then there's no way for us to see what lessons they've looked at or what projects they've done, because they need to be signed in for that to be captured.
Wonderful. So there's another question. So is there a tool to measure a change in digital literacy for a student and or a class from start to finish of the lessons in the class? And so if I'm understanding that question correctly, it's sort of asking, in a specific lesson, are there objectives and is it clear what skills are being learned per lesson?
So yes, there are clear objectives and there are clear skills for what's being learned in each lesson. For the adult learning lessons, there are those reflection surveys that students complete at the end of lessons, but there is no quiz or test or evaluation for the adult learner lessons that kind of prove the right or wrong answers the way that there are for the middle school or high school lessons. For those, they do have quizzes so that you can see that the students have retained the information that they have learned in those lessons. As far as an overarching program to see where they start and where they finish if they complete all of the lessons, there isn't a holistic evaluation. They're really done at the lesson level because it is designed to be modular. However, there is a G Suite certification. So if you do many of the lessons in this program and learn the digital skills across this suite, then you would be set up to be able to take the G Suite certification exam. And that is a professional certification that demonstrates that you have mastered the skills in the G Suite. And that way you can go to your employers and show that you have invested in learning these skills.
Wonderful. So I think we only, unfortunately, have time for one other question, but everyone has such amazing questions, and I'm so excited by all of them. So I really do hope that, thankfully everyone said their names and have registered. So we will actually just follow up with COABE one-on-one to answer the remaining questions. But just for the sake of one last question we can answer live, there was a question specifically that I think probably has a lot of relevance to a lot of different folks. And let me just find out, where did it go? Let's see, which is, have you seen success using G Suite in ESL programs?
Oh, okay. Also a great question. And so for the ESL programs, we have heard mixed results. So we've heard that the basic English language is helpful. We've heard that it's helpful to have contextualized lessons because that helps English language learners when they're applying it to real world projects that they already know. We've heard that the written transcripts are helpful, and sometimes people can even use those and put them in Google Translate to follow along. Using the closed captioning and the playback speed on the videos is helpful. But there is a ways to go in terms of being able to help English language learners and provide some additional lessons and resources, whether they be in Spanish or specifically designed for English language learners. That's definitely a need, similar to the correctional facilities audience that we've been talking a lot about and would like to do more in that space.
Awesome, thank you. And as I mentioned, we'll follow up one-on-one and just continue to go through the questions and answers through messages. But thank you, Tara, and I'll defer back to Liz and Sharon.
Thank you all for joining today.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. I just want to mention we had over 540 people registered for this, so a great turnout. Liz is actually working already to make sure that this is going to be posted online, right, Liz?
Yes, ma'am.
Great. And we just want to remind you all to make sure that once you start using this and you start having success, be sure to circle back. You can then post and submit your success stories. We will be having a drawing each month, and one winner will receive $1,000 each month for submitting a great success story. So thank you everybody for joining us. Thank you, Shala. Thank you, Tara. Thank you, Janet. And Liz, did you have any parting words for us?
No, just keep in touch with your questions. I know that there are still a bunch more. I've been feverishly answering as many COABE-based questions as I can, and feel free to reach out to me at coordinator@coabe.org if you need anything. Thank you.
Thank you. Janet, did you want to say anything? I don't think we heard from you.
Hi, I'm an instructional designer on applied digital skills, and I'll be doing a webinar in another week or two. So nice to meet you all.
Great. Great. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Janet. Thank you, Shala, and thank you, Tara.
Thank you. Bye.